In this video, I'm going to show you how to get all these awful scratches out of your UTV's windshield. And we're not going to do it using any sort of chemical. If this video helps you, please help me by clicking the subscribe button. The windshield of my UTV is quite dusty and dirty. So before we get started, we have to clean that up. Now before you go and grab your paper towels and Windex, let me just go ahead and warn you that maybe the reason your windshield is scratched in the first place is because you haven't been cleaning it properly. With these poly windshields, it is an exercise in being gentle to clean these. You never want to wipe them while they're dry. You don't want to use any type of chemicals with ammonia in them or Windex or just anything like that. And you don't want to use any type of swirling motions, no paper towels, etc., etc. So first thing we need to do is wet this thing down. As far as cleaners go, dish soap is about the harshest chemical I'd be willing to use on one of these. Something that might be better to use would be like a baby shampoo or a specialized car soap that is gentle on wax. In my case, I always keep a bottle of diluted dish soap in the garage, and so that's what I'm using here today. And like I said, this is about the harshest thing I'd be willing to use on these windshields. You want to have a clean, very soft microfiber towel or something like that. That's what I'm using here today. And if you notice, it's just real gentle movements. We are not doing the big swirls and things like that you'd probably be used to. And once you feel like you might have a little bit of dirt or dust on it, go ahead and flip it over, because you don't want to keep wiping that dirt into it, because that is an abrasive. For this, you're also going to need to do the inside. Pull this back in the shop. As I said earlier, we're not going to use any type of chemicals or anything like that, any type of abrasives. We're not sanding this windshield or any of the other crazy stuff I've read in forums. Instead, what we are doing to take the scratches out of this windshield is using a heat gun. And this heat gun that I have here, was like maybe $10 at Harbor Freight Tools. I'm going to put a link in the comments to some cheap heat guns that are available on Amazon if you don't have one. And in a pinch, you could probably do this with a hair dryer, although I haven't tried it before. Now, what we do is we're going to heat this glass up just enough to get this soft to where the scratches run out of it. And so let's get to work here. I don't know if you can see it on camera or not, but once it gets to a certain heat, all those marks start disappearing. I am not a professional camera guy. I don't really have professional camera equipment. This is probably one of those times where that's really showing right now, because what I see in person looks way more dramatic than what I'm seeing on camera. Nonetheless, I think you're getting the picture for how this is going to work. This is actually an old race car trick. It's a lot like ironing your pants. If you leave it sit in one place too long, it's going to get burnt. I've done half of the front of the windshield. Now it's time to do the back, because I'm just going to do half of this and hopefully figure out a way to film the difference so you can see how drastic this is. Like that scratch right there just completely disappeared. It's awesome. Now some of the really deep scratches you have to be careful on. They just, you know, this isn't going to work miracles. You can't get the really deep ones out. But a whole lot of more come out than I would have first expected doing this. Sort of, if I had to guess, I would say scratches that were put in on the trail by, you know, scraping through sticks and things like that, those you're probably not going to get out. But scratches that came from improper cleaning or from, you know, fingernails, or, you know, maybe going through a thick briar patch, things like that, those should come out. I think that's about all anybody should be able to hope for. Now, I started off by only working on one side first. That may not be the best technique. I'm seeing now that by switching and kind of heating both sides at once, I can find exactly where the scratches are, and it's a little less risky, because there were a couple times when I was just doing it on the front that I thought the scratch was on the front, and so I'm heating it up, trying to really get that scratch to disappear, and it wasn't. And then I was almost too hot, and only to figure out that that scratch was actually on the inside. So I have finished the driver's side, got everything removed except for the deepest scratches. And when you compare that to the passenger side, which has not been completed yet, you can see that there's a pretty big difference in how clear that glass is. I hope this video helped you. If it did, would you mind helping me by clicking the subscribe button? We are a family of 6 trying to make a life on 90 acres in the Ouachita Mountains of Arkansas. And every time someone hits that subscribe button, it helps grow our channel and make this life possible for us. We appreciate you.